Favorites. Frank Viverito, president of the St. Louis Sports Commission, came bearing gifts. Good morning, Frank.
Yes.
Good morning, McGraw.
You brought
Good morning, Kelly.
A lot of people bring donuts or bagels, right? A couple of little this and that. You bring us tissues. Tissues. The Musial Award official box of tissues.
Exactly.
Yes. Tell us about this box of tissues.
Well, for the first 10 years that we did the Musial Awards, everybody said, you ought to go get Kleenex as a sponsor, okay? All these stories make us cry.
Right.
And so last year, for the first time, we did complimentary commemorative tissues at the Musial Awards.
And I guess Cal Ripken Jr. needed them?
He took a look at the tissues before the show. He said, what am I going to do with this?
Right.
Okay. And then it wasn't through the first story that he dug into them. And
I heard he was digging into your pile at the end of the night, too.
Yeah, by the end of the night, there wasn't a dry eye or a clean tissue left in the house.
All right. November 18th, which is what? That's this weekend, right?
Oh, my gosh. It's Saturday.
It's Saturday at the Peabody Opera House. It's the Musial Awards. You've been doing this 10 years?
12 years.
12 years.
Yeah.
And this is the only one of its kind here in America.
The only one of its kind in America.
And this is your favorite thing you do every year.
This is my favorite thing I do every year.
I know you enough to know that you really love doing this stuff.
I really love doing this stuff.
But why, though?
Well, when you think about these stories that we tell, okay, and they're the classic stories of people doing good, okay, and it's not hard to do good, okay?
Right.
You just have to know to do the right thing. And when you can bring the 10 stories, the 10 people from across the country who have done the best stuff, who are the best sports, and have them all together saying that this is how we should all act.
Right.
Well, it's just inspiring.
And this is why you got into sports, and this is why you love sports. It's because people doing the right thing, and the money and the drugs and the sex and everything else sort of muddies it all up, and this gets back to what sports should be about.
Right. And sports can do good, so the Sports Commission wants to use sports for its power to do good for St. Louis. And sometimes that's, bringing in big events and visitor spending, and sometimes it's doing the Musial Awards, setting the standard and establishing St. Louis as the place in America where good sports are treasured.
So how does this work? Do people put in their own request? Hey, I want a Musial Award. You go out and find them. How does that work?
Both.
Okay.
We have a standing Google identification for sportsmanship.
Okay.
And I don't know if this is anything to do with what we're doing, but those stories appear more and more frequently.
Sure.
And so we'll have hundreds of stories that come through every year. We'll have hundreds of recommendations. We'll stack them up through the spring,
right,
and then get a group together to start sifting through them. And then the challenge is to kind of put together a story, a show that tells a story.
Right.
So it's not 10 stories about cross-country runners or
right,
10 stories about famous people. It's finding the different angles to illustrate sportsmanship and to celebrate really the diversity of humanity and the good it does.
Yeah. What's it like to call somebody who has no idea you're about to call them and say, by the way, would you like to come to St. Louis? You're going to get a Stan Musial Award for your sportsmanship.
You may not believe this, but the first reaction is usually, what are you talking about?
Mom, I thought we blocked this phone call. The strange man's on the phone again.
But for two reasons. First of all, they're not always aware of the Musial Awards in Medford, Oregon.
Right.
And the most important reason they say all the time is, I didn't do anything.
Right.
And that's where you want to get to where it really is second nature, to give somebody the award that they deserve,
right,
or to pick somebody up when they fall in a race,
right,
and or to live a lifetime of good sportsmanship. And we have this lifetime award that has gone to Joe Torre, Arnold Palmer, Cal Ripken, and then this year to Jackie Joyner-Kersee.
Jackie Joyner-Kersee, we were talking, is the sweetest woman you'll ever meet.
She really is.
Sweetest human being you'll ever meet.
Yeah.
There's no question about it. She was the chair of our board for 4 years from 1997 to 2000, and so I got to know her a little bit, and she is the real deal.
It's
through
unbelievable.
and through.
No, you're almost like, excuse me, are you human?
Right.
Are you from Earth? Or are you from planet Neptune?
Exactly.
Yeah,
So it's a delight for us to have her as our Lifetime Achievement Award winner, and then we mix a couple of big names with a couple of great stories, and you have a wonderful evening.
Do all the winners know they're the winners?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So they fly in and spend the weekend here in St. Louis?
We fly them in to spend the weekend in St. Louis, and some people, like this year, Michael Bidwell, he's flying himself in. That
he can afford it.
He can afford it,
Yeah.
but he also flew to Chicago, I think it was, to pick up the Kurt Warner family when they couldn't get to Canton, Ohio for his Hall of Fame induction.
Really?
And so,
Stan Kroenke didn't do that.
Well, I don't think so.
When Michael Bidwell's here, we have a stadium. We have a football stadium not doing anything if they want to move back.
If only, right?
If only. All right, so tickets still available?
Tickets are still available,
Okay.
and we do not price them high. They're between $10 and $50 at Peabody Opera House. You can get them at MusialAwards.com.
Yeah.
And, they absolutely come with a money-back guarantee because you can't spend $10 and not love what you saw.
And how much are the tissues?
The tissues are free.
The tissues are free.
Yes.
Got it. What else is going on with the Sports Commission? Anything else we should be paying attention to? Any events coming up we should?
Well, the big event that we're working on now is the SEC men's basketball tournament, which is coming to town back-to-back with the Missouri Valley tournament next March.
Nice.
So we have about 10 straight days of college basketball in St. Louis.
And did I see where the Mo Valley announced that they're going to stay here for another X amount of years?
I believe it's a 3-year extension, and the Scottrade Center renovations are a huge reason that they're staying. Everybody loves the scoreboard and what you see in the bowl, but those new locker rooms and the new media space downstairs is huge for tournament organizers.
Would the Scottrade Center have got the SEC tournament if the Scottrade renovations didn't happen?
Very, very unlikely.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah. Frank Viverito, you are always welcome here. You are not one of the nicest people.
No, not
you
me.
are one of the. You're not the nicest,
No,
but
I'm
you are
not.
definitely one of the nicest people.
Well, I didn't win a Musial Award.
And your Giants are what? 0-8, 1-8.
I'm off the NFL now.
All right, good. You and me both. All right, Frank Viverito, always welcome here. The website to find out more.
MusialAwards.com.
Thanks, buddy. 811 Big 550.